All right, another thing that we're going to see is going to happen at the midpoint is we're going to see there's going to be two witnesses who are going to prophesy for 1,260 days. God said, I'm going to grant authority to my two witnesses, and they will prophesy for 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. Now, the thing I want you to notice here is that God is very specific here. God says they're going to prophesy for 1,260 days. Now, keep that in mind. That's very important. God doesn't say 1,259, and he doesn't say 1,261. God says they're going to prophesy for 1,260 days. All right, 1,260 days, which is going to be 3.5 years. They'll start prophesying at the midpoint, and they'll prophesy for 1,260 days, which is 3.5 years. And look what God tells us about these gentlemen, these two witnesses. If anyone wants to harm them, fire flows out of their mouth and devours their enemies. And if anyone wants to harm them, they must be killed in this way. Wow, you're not going to want to mess with these guys, right? I mean, if you do, fire flows out of their mouth and devours anyone who wants to harm them. That's pretty powerful. We're also told they have power to shut up the sky, so that the rain will not fall during the days of their prophesying. They have power over the waters to turn them into blood and to strike the earth with every plague as often as they desire. Wow, God's really going to empower these two witnesses. Now, who are they? Well, we can't say for sure who the two witnesses are because we don't know for sure. But we do have some indications that they could possibly be Moses and Elijah. And again, I'm not dogmatic about this, but I think there's some reasons why we can believe that's a good possibility. Here's those reasons. Like Moses, they strike the earth with plagues. And like Elijah, they have the power to keep it from raining. Also, God told us that he would send us Elijah before the day of the Lord. He told us that in Malachi 4:5. God tells us that Elijah will come back before the day of the Lord. And both Moses and Elijah were present at the Transfiguration, right? They went up with Jesus on the mountain, and that was the preview of Jesus' second coming, and Moses and Elijah were both there. Both Moses and Elijah used supernatural means to encourage people to repent. Elijah was taken up into heaven. Remember, Elijah never died. God just called him up to heaven. And we're told that God buried Moses' body where it would never be found. And also the length of the drought the two witnesses bring, which is 3.5 years. We read that in Revelation 11:3. That's the same as the length of the drought brought by Elijah. So I think there's a good possibility that those two witnesses are Moses and Elijah. There's some other names that are thrown out there, but again, I'm not dogmatic about this, but I think that's a possibility. Okay, so the two witnesses will prophesy for 1,260 days. So we have a lot of things that happen either at the midpoint or shortly thereafter.